Good morning, my dear students. Welcome to our online class zoology class. The last class we studied about one important 5-mark question, birth control method. Okay, birth control meaning the process of prevention of fertilization or the process of prevention of implantation of fertilized egg inside the uterus of the female reproductive system is called birth control. Okay, so some devices are used to do this process. The devices are called contraceptive devices. Already I explained in the last class. And these birth control methods are classified into two major categories: temporary methods and permanent methods. The natural method, hormonal methods, then mechanical methods. So these are the some types of temporary birth control methods. And only two types of permanent birth control methods only available. One is tubectomy and the second one is vasectomy. Okay. So last class we studied this question, and I hope you all studied this question and this question answer. And already many times I told you, many 2-mark questions, 3-mark questions, and 1-mark question also there. So it's very important question. Okay. Okay. Today we are going to study about some more topics. Okay, some 3-mark question and some 5-mark question also. So listen very carefully, my dear students. The first question is MTP. MTP meaning medical termination of pregnancy. Medical termination of pregnancy. So MTP meaning medical termination of pregnancy. Here is a non-surgical method. So with the willingness of parents, sometimes the fetus is destroyed inside the uterus of the mother. Okay, so this process is called MTP. So the voluntary or intentional method to destroy the fetus inside the uterus of the mother is called MTP. Understand? And Max is not already told you, it's a non-surgical, there is no surgery. Okay, by using some technique, the doctors can do this MTP. Okay, this MTP maximum, we have to do this MTP, medical termination of pregnancy, during the first trimester. Trimester meaning you all know, the total duration of the pregnancy is 9 months. So these first 3 months are called first trimester. Then 4th, 5th, 6th months are called second trimester. 7th, 8th and 9th months are usually called third trimester. So maximum we have to do this MTP during the first trimester. Okay. So it is very safe to both mother and fetus. But doing MTP during the second trimester or after second trimester is very risky. It is very dangerous to both fetus and mother, because at the end of the first trimester, that means the beginning, okay, after the second trimesters, the fetus tissue is fully associated or attached with the mother's tissue. So when if we do this MTP during the second trimester, it is very dangerous to both fetus and mother. Understand, my dear students? So now I said two important points. The first I said about this MTP, medical termination of pregnancy. So it's a non-surgical method. So the voluntary or intentional destroying of fetus inside the uterus of the mother by using a non-surgical method is called MTP. And the second point I said, this MTP should be performed during the first trimester. After the second trimester, if we do this MTP, it is very dangerous. Understand of you? Then our government, okay, our Indian government allowed this MTP procedure in the year of 1971. Okay, so our Indian government legally accepted this procedure MTP technique in the year of 1971. But when our government accepts this procedure, they have given some restrictions. because maximum some people misusing this MTP to do the female ferticide. Ferticide meaning one, killing the female baby or female fetus inside the uterus of the mother is called female ferticide. So some people misusing this technique to kill the female fetus. So to avoid this situation, avoid this condition, our central government allowed legally accepted this MTP with some restriction. Understand, my dear students? The next point about this MTP is this MTP should be done by a well qualified staff. So MTP with unqualified staff is not safe. It is very dangerous to the mother and it's also a crime. So the MTP procedure should be done. Okay, should be done only by a well qualified doctors or well qualified medical officers. Understand, my dear students? Okay, that's all about this MTP. So once again I repeat all the points about this MTP. MTP meaning it's a voluntary or intentional. Okay, voluntary or intentional destroying of fetus inside the uterus by a non-surgical method. And the second point I said about this MTP is the MTP should be performed during the first trimester. Second, if you do this MTP after second trimester, it is very dangerous. Understand? And our government allowed this, accepted this MTP in the year of 1971 with some restrictions. Understand? And the last point I said about, see here this MTP should be carried out or done by a well qualified staff. So when a MTP is carried out by a unqualified staff, it is very danger to the mother and it also a crime. Understand, my students? So it's a 3-mark question. Okay, and here one mark question also there. The year the government accepted this MTP in the year of 1971. Understand a few? Okay. The next topic. STD. STD full form, sexually transmitted disease. Sexually transmitted disease. So these diseases are transmitted from one person to another person because of the sexual contact. Okay. So this STD is otherwise called VD. So STD meaning sexually transmitted diseases. VD meaning venereal disease. Okay. Then another one name, reproductive tract infection, RTI. Okay, or sexually transmitted infection. So sexually transmitted disease, otherwise called venereal disease, otherwise called reproductive tract infection, otherwise called sexually transmitted infections. Understand a few? Okay. So already I told you this disease is transmitted only through the sexual contact. So when a healthy person is keeping a sexual contact with the infected person, the healthy person also may be affected by this disease, with these diseases. Understand a few? And many examples we can say for this sexually transmitted disease. Example, the common example, well-known example is AIDS. Okay, AIDS is one of the best example, best important example for the sexually transmitted diseases. Okay, and this AIDS also transmitted from one person to another person by some other methods also. Okay, but the major reason is sexual contact. Understand, my dear students? Then maximum these sexually transmitted diseases affecting the human beings between the age of 15 to 24. So these aged people will be highly affected because of this disease, by these diseases. Understand? And the sexually transmitted diseases or venereal diseases may be caused by bacteria or virus or fungus or protozoa. Okay, any microorganism can cause these sexually transmitted diseases. But you have to remember one important point. If a sexually transmitted disease is caused by a bacteria or protozoa or fungus, we can cure that disease by taking some treatment, by using some medicines. But at the same time, if a sexually transmitted disease affects human beings by virus The viral sexual transmitted disease cannot be cured. Okay, we cannot cure this disease. There is no treatment for this viral transmitted disease, sexually transmitted diseases. But we can avoid the symptom. We can cure the symptoms of viral sexually transmitted disease. But we cannot cure the diseases completely. I hope you all understood the definition, the introduction about these sexually transmitted diseases. So once again, I repeat all the points. Sexually transmitted diseases are otherwise called venereal disease, or reproductive tract infection, or sexually transmitted infections. Maximum these diseases is transmitted from one person to another person through the sexual contact. And the people, those who are in the age between 15 to 24. So these age group people only highly affected by these diseases. Understand? And these diseases may be due to bacteria or virus or fungus or protozoa. Understand? Here the viral, fungus and protozoan sexually transmitted disease can be cured by using some medicine. But at the same time, the viral sexual transmitted disease, we cannot cure this disease by using the medicines. I hope you all understood all these points. Then, prevention. How we can avoid or prevent this disease? Only 3 points. The first prevention, main prevention is avoid sexual contact with unknown person or multiple person. Avoid sexual contact with unknown person and multiple persons. The first prevention method. Second one is using condom. Already in the last class we studied about this condom. It's a contraceptive device. Okay. So using condom is the second prevention method for the STD. Then the third one is in case any doubt. If we have any doubt about this disease, immediately we have to consult the doctor and take treatment. So these are the 3 important prevention methods. So first I said about the prevent or avoid the sexual contact with the unknown person or multiple person. Second one is use condom, and the third one, in case of doubt, we have to consult the doctor. So these are the 3 important prevention methods for these diseases. Understand, my dear students? I hope you are understood. So this prevention method only 3 points. So it's a 3-mark question. Okay. Then now we are going to study about the 5-mark questions. Very, very important 5-mark questions, and also important for 1-mark question. Okay. Okay, dear students, listen very carefully. Already I told you the sexually transmitted infection may be due to bacteria or virus or fungus or protozoan disease. Now we are going to study about all these diseases. Some examples for these diseases, sexually transmitted diseases. So first you are going, in this chart I have written the disease name, causative organism name, incubation period and the symptoms of some bacterial sexual transmitted diseases. 4 bacterial sexual transmitted diseases I have written here. In your book also, this question is explained in a tabular column. So it is very easy to study. Maximum the causative organisms. Okay, the causative organism name is very, very important for 1-mark question. Then here I have written the incubation period also. So this incubation period also very, very important for 1-mark question. So listen very carefully. If you have book, by using the book you can easily study. Okay. If you have no book, by take short note and study. Okay, listen. The first disease is gonorrhea. The first bacterial disease is gonorrhea. Maximum the incubation period of this disease is 2 to 5 days only. So within 2 to 5 days, this disease appear in the body of a human being. Understand, my students? Then next, the causative agent or the causative, the microorganism or the bacterial name of this disease is Neisseria gonorrhea. Okay, Neisseria gonorrhea is the causative organism of this disease. Then symptoms. This disease maximum affect the urethra region, is a posterior part of the urinary bladder. Then rectum, this is a part of our digestive system. Then throat region, this region. Okay, then in female this disease affects the cervix also. Cervix is one of the important part of the female reproductive system. So this disease affects the urethra, rectum, throat and cervix region. The next symptom, pus discharge. Okay, more amount of pus is released from the reproductive organs. This is the next symptom. Then burning sensation during urination. The affected person, when they pass urine or when they release urine, they will feel some burning sensation. So these are the symptoms of this gonorrhea disease. So this incubation period is very very important, one mark question, and this causative organism name also one mark question. I hope you understand. Then second disease is syphilis. Okay, the syphilis incubation period is 10 to 90 days. 10 to 90 days. And the causative organism of this syphilis disease is Trypanosoma pallidum. Okay, Trypanosoma pallidum is the causative organism of this syphilis disease. Then this syphilis disease infects the human beings in 3 stages. Affect the human being in 3 stages: primary stage, secondary stage and tertiary stage. The symptom of this syphilis is very dangerous during the tertiary stage. Okay, so the first primary stage, painless ulcer. Maximum some painless wound is appear in the external genital organ, external reproductive organ. It happens during the primary stage of infection. Then second, in the secondary stage, skin lesions, wound occur in the skin, rashes, fever and some swelling occur in the joint. So we can see all these symptoms during the secondary stage. Okay, then tertiary stage, already I told you the symptoms are very very dangerous, very very severe during the tertiary infection. So chronic ulcer in the nose and lower leg. Chronic meaning continuous, ulcer meaning wound. So continuously wound is occur in the nose region and also in the lower leg region. Then next symptom, mental disorders. Okay, the final stage, the infected person is mentally affected. Then visual problem, eye problem, then heart problem. These are the other problems. Okay, so these symptoms we can see at the tertiary stage of infection. Understand you? So this syphilis affecting the human being in 3 stages: primary, secondary and tertiary stages. So here also the incubation period is very important, 1 mark question, and the causative organism also 1 mark question. Then next is the third bacterial sexually transmitted disease is chlamydiasis. The incubation period is 2 to 3 weeks up to 6 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks, maximum it will appear up to 6 weeks. Then causative organism, Chlamydia trichomax. Okay, Chlamydia trichomax is the causative organism of this disease. Then symptoms, trachoma meaning eye disorders, eye problems. Then affect the columnar epithelial tissue. Here affect the columnar epithelial tissues means maximum the digestive system, the inner side of the digestive system, respiratory system, then reproductive system. So these regions consist of different types of epithelial tissue, columnar epithelial tissues. So this disease affecting the columnar epithelial tissues present in the digestive system and respiratory system. Understand that you? Then the columnar epithelial tissues present in the conjunctiva region also affected. Conjunctiva meaning is the part of our eye. Understand? So this conjunctiva region of our eye also made up of some columnar epithelial tissues. So these epithelial tissues also affected. Understand, my dear students? Then next, the last disease, lymphogranuloma. The last sexually transmitted bacterial infection is called lymphogranuloma venereum. Lymphogranuloma venereum. Okay, the causative organism, the same causative organism, Chlamydia trichomax. Then symptoms, cutaneous or mucosal genital damage. Cutaneous meaning skin. So skin region is damaged. Or the mucosal genital damage, mucous membrane of the reproductive organ is damaged. urethritis, urethra region is affected. Then endocervicitis, that means damages in the cervix region. Then last one, genital elephantiasis. Okay, so genital elephantiasis meaning some swelling occurred in the genital organs or the reproductive organs. Understand, my dear students? So now we completed 4 important bacterial infections or bacterial diseases, sexually transmitted diseases. So togetherly it is one important 5-mark question and many 1-mark questions also there. Understand? So I hope you all understood these questions. Then shall we move to the next question? Okay, 4 bacterial diseases we have completed. Now we are going to study about 4 important viral diseases. Okay, when I explained the introduction, I told you one important point that the viral infections, okay, the viral sexually transmitted infections cannot be cured completely. The symptoms, we can cure the symptoms only, these diseases completely we cannot cure. Understand? Okay. Now we are going to study about 4 important examples for viral sexually transmitted diseases. Okay. The first disease is called genital herpes. The incubation period is 2 to 21 days. 2 to 21 days. Then the causative organism of this viral disease is herpes simplex virus. Herpes simplex virus is a causative organism for this genital herpes disease. Okay, then the main important symptom is sores. Sores meaning wound, and maximum this wound affect the vagina region, then urethra region, and also in the penis region. Okay, so the penis region of the male reproductive system, then the vagina region of the female reproductive system, and the urethra region. In these regions some wounds are appear. So this is the main symptom of this genital herpes. Understand of you? Then second symptom, painful urination. Already I told you, when the infected person or the affected person releasing urine, they will feel some pain. Then next one is bleeding. Maximum this bleeding takes place in the female reproductive system between the menstrual cycle. So this is one of the very dangerous symptom of this viral infection. Okay, normally the bleeding takes place during the first 3 or 5 days, 3 to 5 days. Okay, but here if any female is affected with this genital herpes disease, bleeding takes place between the menstrual cycle. Understand of you? Then next one, swelling in the groin. Groin meaning hip region. The hip region also some swelling is occur. So these are the symptoms of this first disease, genital herpes. Then second one is genital warts. The incubation period is 1 to 8 months. Already I told you the incubation period and the causative organism names both are very important for 1 mark question. Okay, so the next disease, second viral infection is genital warts. The incubation period is 1 to 8 months. Then the causative organism is HP virus, human papilloma virus. HP virus full form human papilloma virus. Then symptom is tumor. Tumor means in Tamil we can say cuticle. So maximum this tumor occur in the external genital organs and also in the cervix region. Okay, external genital organs meaning external reproductive organs. Okay, so tumor occur in our cancer-like structures are formed in the where the external genital organs and also in the cervix region. Then next, third disease is hepatitis B. You all know this disease, hepatitis B. This is very dangerous disease. The total incubation period is 30 to 80 days. The causative organism is hepatitis B virus. Hepatitis B virus. Understand of you? Then the symptoms, fatigue. Fatigue means tired. jaundice. Jaundice meaning wallow. Okay, it's manjal kamala in Tamil. We can say manjal kamala. So it's a disease affecting the liver. Then next fever, stomach pain, then liver cirrhosis. Liver cirrhosis in Tamil we can say kallira allergy. Okay, so liver cirrhosis, and in the final stage liver failure is occurred. Okay, so in the last stage, final stage, liver failure is the last symptom of this hepatitis B disease or infection. Understand of you? Then next, very dangerous viral infection, AIDS. Okay, this disease is caused by a virus called human immunovirus. Total incubation period is 2 to 6 weeks, maximum 10 years. And one important point about this disease is there is no medicine for this viral infection, this AIDS disease. Okay, then symptom, enlarged lymph node. Here lymph node means it's one of the very important organ of our immune system. So the size of this lymph node is increased. Then second one is prolonged fever and diarrhea. Prolonged meaning continuous, more days. Okay, so continuously fever and diarrhea. Weight loss, night sweating. During the night, more amount of sweat is released from the infected person body. So these are the common symptoms of the AIDS disease. So I hope you all understood this viral sexually transmitted disease. So now we completed 4 important bacterial sexually transmitted disease and 4 important viral sexually transmitted diseases. Understand, my dear students? Then now we are going to study about one fungal and protozoan infection. Okay, fungal sexual transmitted disease. See, candidiasis. The first disease name is called candidiasis. The causative organism or the causative agent, the fungal species name is called Candida albicans. Candida albicans. So this fungus will be responsible for this candidiasis disease. Then symptoms, attack the mouth region, throat region, and also vagina region. So these 3 regions are highly affected because of this infection. Then next one is vaginal itching, vaginal discharge. Pus is released from the vaginal region and painful urination. So these are the common symptoms of this candidiasis disease. Then next one is only one protozoan sexually transmitted disease. Name of the disease is called trichomonasis. Trichomonasis. The causative organism name is called Trichomonas vaginalis. Trichomonas vaginalis is a causative organism protozoa name of this disease. The symptoms, listen very carefully. Vaginitis affecting the vaginal region. Greenish yellow vaginal discharge. From the vaginal region, greenish yellow color pus is released. Then third one, burning sensation. Burning sensation during urination. Then urethritis, damages in the urethra. Then epididymitis, damages in the epididymis. Epididymis is one of the duct of the male reproductive system. Okay, can you remember? Vasa recta, then epididymis, vas deferens. Okay, so these are the some of the duct present in the male reproductive system. So this epididymis, okay, this epididymis region is used to store the sperm, okay, for a temporary period. So this epididymis region that is affected. Then next one is prostatitis. Prostatitis meaning is the infection or the damages in the prostate gland of the male reproductive system. Understand a few? So this is trichomonasis is a protozoan sexually transmitted disease. This disease is caused by this Trichomonas vaginalis. These are the symptoms of this disease. Understand, my dear students? So now we completed 4 important bacterial sexually transmitted diseases and 4 important viral sexually transmitted diseases and 1 fungal disease and 1 protozoan diseases. Okay, so this fungal disease and protozoan disease may be asked for 2 mark question. Understand, my dear students? The next question is cervical cancer. See, it's a cancer affecting the cervix region of the female reproductive system. Very important 5-mark question, and it's a very small question. Okay, cervical cancer. So it's a cancer affecting the human female reproductive system. Understand? The first one is the causative organism of this disease is human papilloma virus. HPV. HPV meaning human papilloma virus is the causative organism of this cervical cancer disease. If any female is affected with this disease, some abnormal cells, unwanted cells are started to grow in the cervix region. Okay, so in the cervix region, some abnormal cells, unwanted cells are started to grow. So this is the main symptom of this cervical cancer. Then next one is symptoms. The first symptom is pelvic pain. Pelvic region meaning hip region. So severe pain in the hip region is the first symptom of this cervical cancer. Then the second symptom is increased discharge from the vagina. More amount of pus is released from the vagina is the second symptom of this disease. Understand? Then third one is abnormal bleeding. Okay, so abnormal bleeding, increased vaginal discharge and pelvic pain. So these are the 3 important symptoms of these diseases. So first causative organism I said, then symptoms. Symptoms I said, then next one is reasons. Reasons for this disease is only 2 reasons. The first reason is having multiple sex partners. Okay, keeping more sexual active contact with many persons or unknown person is the main symptom, main reason for this cervical cancer. And the second one is increased usage of contraceptive pills. The last class we studied about this contraceptive. Actually, it's a contraceptive device used to prevent the pregnancy. Okay, so when a female, a woman is continuously using these contraceptive pills, it leads to cervical cancer. So only 2 reasons for the cervical cancer. First reason is having multiple sex partner, and the second reason is continuous or the increased intake of contraceptive pills. Understand a few? Then third one is diagnosis. Diagnosis. See, some test, PAV test. Okay, PAV is a blood test. Okay, PAV test, then HPV test. So these 2 are the important tests used to detect this cervical cancer disease. Okay, then with the help of the X-rays, the help of CT scan, the help of MRI scan also, we can identify this cervical cancer. So this is one of the important 1-mark question. PAV and combined with HPV test. So this test is a very important diagnostic method, diagnostic test used to discover or identify the cervical cancer. Understand? Then, so diagnosis over. Then treatment. Treatment, radiation therapy, chemotherapy, then surgery. Radiation therapy, chemotherapy, surgery. These 3 are the important treatment for the cervical cancer. Okay, then prevention. How we can avoid this cervical cancer? See, one technique, see, screening technique. Maximum this screening technique is used to identify this disease before the cancer stage. And screening technique, and this screening technique is recommended to the female above 30 years, and this screening technique should be done once in a year. This is very important condition. So the female over 30 years are allowed to do this screening technique, and they should do this screening technique once in a year. Understand? Understand you? So this is one of the technique used to identify the cervical cancer. Then next, vaccine. Okay, HPV vaccine. So this vaccine is used to prevent the cervical cancer disease. Here also one important point is there. This vaccine should be given to the girls between the age of 9 to 13. Okay, so this HPV vaccine is a vaccine used to prevent the cervical cancer. But this vaccine should be given between the age of 9 to 13 years. Understand, my dear students? Then, next, the other control measures. Highly nutritional food items, that means diet, is playing a very important role to prevent this cervical cancer. A regular exercise. Okay, regular exercise. Avoid using tobacco. Okay, avoid using tobacco. Then avoid early marriage. Okay, then we have to follow monogamy. Monogamy meaning in Tamil we can say that means single marriage. Understand? So finally I said about the other prevention methods. What are the methods I said? Diet, food. Okay, nutritional food items you have to eat. Then avoid using tobacco. We have to do regular exercise. Okay, avoid early marriage and monogamy. So these are the other methods used to prevent the cervical cancer. Understand, my dear students? So once again I repeat all the points about this cervical cancer. This is a cancer affecting the cervix region of the female reproductive system, and this disease is caused by a virus called human papilloma virus. And if any female is or any woman is infected with these diseases, some unwanted cells are started to grow in the cervix region. Then, so causative organism I said, then symptoms, pelvic pain, increased discharge from the vagina, abnormal bleeding. These are the very important symptoms. Then reasons, two reasons I said. One is having multiple sex partner, and the second reason is increased usage of contraceptive pills. Then diagnosis, PAV and HPV smear test or blood test, then X-rays, CT scan, MRI scan. So these devices also used to identify this cervical cancer disease. Then I said about the treatment, surgery, chemotherapy. Okay, surgery, chemotherapy and radiation therapy. Then next I said about the prevention. Okay, here one more point I said here, screening technique. Okay, so the screening technique is allowed only after 30 years. Okay, and it should be done only one time in year, once in a year. Understand a few? Then next one vaccine also available. Name of that vaccine is called HPV vaccine. Here also one important point I said, one more question. This vaccine should be given between the age of 9 to 30 years. Okay, then other prevention method and diet, avoid using tobacco, then avoid early marriage, regular exercise and monogamy. So these are the other prevention methods. So my dear students, I hope you clearly understood all the topics. Okay, so first I explain about the MTP, medical termination of pregnancy. Then I explain about the sexually transmitted diseases, 4 important bacterial sexually transmitted diseases, 4 important viral sexually transmitted diseases, 1 fungal sexually transmitted infection, then 1 protozoal infection. Then finally, I explain about the cervical cancer. See, this cervical cancer is a very small portion. It is explained in 1 or 2 paragraphs. So first you have to understand the causative cancer. Then next symptoms are explained. Then reasons are explained. Then diagnosis methods are explained. Then treatment. Finally, prevention methods are explained in your book. So it's very important, very small 5-mark question. Understand, my dear friends? So in the last class also, I told you to write that birth control methods and send to me through my WhatsApp number, and many students send that question. I really appreciate you. Maximum from the 12th EF class. Okay, science group students, they send many students send that answers. So I appreciate the other biology students. Okay, B class, C class, D class students also study and take photos, send the answer to my WhatsApp number. Understand? So today also I already told you, bacterial disease 5 mark question, viral disease 5 mark question, then the cervical cancer also 5 mark question. MTP is a 3 mark question. Then the prevention of sexually transmitted disease also a 3 mark question. So study these questions. So now I said 3 question answers. MTP 3 mark question, then prevention of sexually transmitted diseases 3 mark question. Okay, so 2 3 mark question, then 3 5 mark questions. What are the questions I said? 4 bacterial diseases, 4 viral diseases, then the cervical cancer. So today's study portion assignment were 2 3 mark questions and 3 5 mark questions. Maximum today itself you try to complete all these question answers. Okay, and send to me. Understand my friends? Thank you. We can see in the next class.